Rangers. Hoping to get to Colorado Springs any day now. A little trading with you would help. What do you say? Thanks, Rangers. We won't let the others talk you down. Oh, thank you. It ain't much.
That it's inhabited by a violent gang called the Hardheads. I guess you gotta be stubborn to be a crook. Apparently their leader is named Fishlips. Not terribly intimidating or evocative. If any of our listeners can fill us in on Fishlips' undoubtedly tragic backstory, give me a call.
Team November. I received an urgent message from a distraught local currently being pursued by bandits. Are you ready to receive? The victim is Kim Hai and her sister. They're being pursued by bandits, though details were scarce on enemy ordnance. Kim has indicated that time is a critical factor. Unknown, Team November. Sorry to be low on details, but the victim and her sister were in a panic. They're on the move, sending you coordinates. Time is of the essence, Team November. Over and out.
There ain't nowhere for you to hide!
Stay back! We're prepared to defend ourselves. That's your warning shot.
Stupid bitch! Take cover and be careful. The boss wants these two alive.
Take them down.
Rangers! You look like prayers answered. I knew Jesus wouldn't abandon us. Those goons were sent by a thug named Moss Kogan. They were trying to take my sister. I thought it'd be enough to leave Colorado Springs, but... in hindsight, I suppose it might have been stupid. Of course they'd follow us. But I didn't know what else to do. We're in over our heads. If you hadn't stepped in when you did...
Attention, Rangers! This is Moss Kogan of the 100 Families. I heard on the grapevine that you've taken up with a pair of no-good, debt-skipping lowlifes. So you know, we have taken up a position outside, and we are armed and dangerous. But this doesn't need to come to violence. I am a reasonable man, and I am happy to negotiate.
Please, Rangers. Whatever he's saying, oh, please don't let them take my sister. They'll hurt her.
He wants his money back, but he's gonna have to take an organ instead. I don't have it.
Yoon. She borrowed money from Kogan. Too much money. But it was only so we could create a church. A place that other Catholics could.
I did it because I wanted to spend money on dumb shit, okay? Shit! I'm too much of a fuck-up to deserve help, but my sister... she's gonna suffer too if Kogan catches up with us. Help us, please. For her sake.
Like it. Now see here, Rangers. Yoon-hee is a low-life thief. She deserves the Patriarch's justice for stealing from me. I don't know what those lying devil women said to you, but I'll have you know that they're thieves as well. They took a small fortune from my coffers. I'm just here to take back what's mine.
I can't keep lying. Yoon, I'm sorry. He's right. But I didn't know what else to do. We were desperate. I'm sorry.
Nice to see at least one of you is worthy of that Jesus fella you keep talking about. Well, you heard them, Rangers. They're thieves. I should drag them back to Pillory Square. However, I'm a reasonable man. All I want is my money. Those two can go where they like after that, so long as they promise I'll never have to lay eyes on them again. Ha! It's your money, I guess. Why not? You have enough jangling around in all those pockets? Damn right you don't. Have any other bright ideas?
No! Rangers! It's a life sentence!
Should have thought about that before she took my money. Either way, I'm not a cruel man. Since Miss Kim Hee here's so desperate to help her sister, I'm gonna offer a compromise. These two gotta work for me for 7 years. After that, we're done.
No. He can't take my sister. This is my fault. Rangers, please don't let him take us both.
It's both of them or nothing, Rangers. Hardly the Patriarch's jurisdiction, but I'll take it. Come along, ladies.
You fucking assholes, you fucking jerks!
You. This was clearly God's will. He wants us to make amends.
That's the spirit, Kim. Rangers, thanks for bringing them in. A little something for your trouble. Come along, ladies.
For a day. Set a man on fire, and he'll be warm for the rest of his life!
Welcome back, Rangers. Ready to do some trading? That is true. Monsters are always cool. Let me open up the store.
Hello again, esteemed guests. Enjoy your visit.
Guns sanctified
laser
with
pistol.
blood.
Oh, I've always
Blood
wanted one of these.
sanctified by
That
guns.
Go.
Shit.
Ah, our clown-slaying knights in shining armor. You honor us by visiting our little theater. Ah, let's see what we've got here. Damn, this looks pretty bad. Where there's a will, there's a way. Just stand over there and look cute while I check this out. Well, I won't lie. They aren't exactly what I was hoping for. But we can salvage this. So here's what I'm thinking. The film is falling apart, and I can't get a full show out of any of them. But I'm seeing bits and pieces that we could totally use with a bit of imagination. Let's examine the reels together, and we'll come up with a story worthy of Chicks flicks. Here, look at these. Do you see a good main character? Maybe he tries to sneak through the shadows and he's spotted. But not by a guard, no. Plot twist! The person spotting him is his former lover, and their passions rekindle instantly into lewd office sex. That's a great setup, but we need to decide where it takes place. Here, look over these reels. Scene cuts inside the vehicle. Turns out lots of people are crammed in there. The lightning has energized not just the car, but also their sex drives, and a spontaneous orgy erupts. Not bad. Not bad. Now, for the pièce de résistance, my lovelies. Some of these old reels still have semi-legible labels. Give it your best shot. Sex me up a title. Poetic, beautiful, seductive, just the way your Eidolon likes it. Oh, I see you have some beauties of your own with you. What do you think? Could one of your gorgeous friends star in our premiere? Wouldn't be long, I promise.
Rangers, I was born to do this. Out of the way, everyone. Victory has arrived.
Ah, I see. The prodigal son. Well, we'll just have to make sure to clear the stage of sharp objects. For your safety. A job well done, you. Okay, everyone. Places. Our audience awaits. What's that? A script? Darling, we don't need those.
Victory saw, victory conquered, victory came! Say thank you, ladies.
Now, don't you think your 80 would forget your dues? You've been such a big help, Sugar Pies. So here's your reward. Come talk to me later to see how we got on, okay? Ah, how delightful to see you again, my muses. Anytime, gorgeous. Come back real soon.
What's going on here? You're all under arrest. Don't make me pull out my bullet. Oh, shit. There's a new sheriff of Centerville in town.
I always wanted one of these.
Blood sanctified by guns.
Really need to ask Piscatelli to look at my gun. Bugger keeps jamming.
of the Prophet, brothers and sisters. Make your kites strong, so the offerings they bear will reach the heavens above. Take you the supple skin of the sacrifice, carve it in a single piece from belly and back, and stretch it upon a rack of metal or wood. Scrape the skin clean and anoint it with sacred oils, then leave it under the blessed sky for 7 days and nights. Take the long bones of leg and arm and lash the torso onto the kite. Thus will the workings of the flesh bear your gift aloft into the presence of the gods.
Colonel Death will be along just as soon as I make sure you're all here. You haven't brought along any unexpected guests. Can't be too careful these days, right? Glad we have an understanding. Well, looks like everyone's here who's supposed to be here, so I'll give her a ring. 1 second. All clear. Come ahead.
Hey now, cowboys. Face to face at last. And just as handsome as I thought you'd be. Figured we'd meet here to remind you what being a ranger means. These folks are alive today because you chose to help them, even though it meant going against the Patriarch's orders. To my mind, that's the ranger way. Helping the helpless ahead of the powerful. Just something to keep in mind as you hear me out. Good eye, Doc. It's definitely put a hitch in my talk box. But no thank you, I got it under control. This and my fake leg are souvenirs from when my chopper got shot out of the sky over Long Beach, California. Good times. Since you've obviously got the skills to use them, here, I got a few extra med kits on me. Try not to use them all at once. Thank you, I will. Now I know. Wait, you've got Vic with you? Do you carry your shit around with you too? Okay, listen, I got a lot to say here, so I'm just gonna pretend he's not here and hope you do the right thing later. Now, what with you not taking Saul's sons out like I asked, I'm guessing we've got different ideas about how things in Colorado should play out. But I'm still hoping you'll come around, November. So here's the deal. As my friends and I see it, 2 things gotta happen to save the people of Colorado from tyranny and slaughter. First, Liberty and the gang she's gathered out east have to be eliminated. And second... Scar collectors. Well, well. Speak of the devil and her minions shall appear. Looks like Liberty overheard our rendezvous call. Guess we'll have to deal with this before we continue.
None should harm me! Can't get me now, fucker! Beam of destruction! Down on you!
Behind him! Die, patriarch fucker!
Violence.
Forgive me.
Partner.
Target acquired.
Let me die. Your lifesaver.
I want some candy.
Getting behind her. Die, patriarch!
The arm of God.
Reloading.
Fight the power! Your ass is grass!
God protect me. knees!
We did it!
As my friends and I see it, two things gotta happen to save the people of Colorado from tyranny and slaughter. First, Liberty and the gang she's gathered out east have to be eliminated. Second, and you're gonna love this, the Patriarch's gotta go too.
Booyah! Damn right he does! Whew. I'm changing my mind about this old bat.
I love the people of Arizona. Arizona is my home. But are you willing to save lives there at the expense of lives here? Are you okay sending home food spattered with innocent blood? The Rangers have fought tyranny since the beginning, without compromise. How can we continue to do that if we take handouts from a tyrant? How can we pretend we're heroes if we do his dirty work to get it? Sorry, I had this argument with General Woodson 100 times. A sure deal was more important to him than a moral one. That's why the advance team went dark and decided to do this on our own. Of course, it turned out we couldn't do it on our own, which is why we were so happy when you showed up. And why we're here now, asking you for help. Fair enough, but me and mine are between you and the door, so hear me out anyway. Right. First off, there's Liberty. I've gotta hand it to her. Daddy's little girl has done the impossible. She's united the boldest and baddest warlords of the Eastern Plains, and she's getting ready to lead them into Colorado. When she does, well... well, that'll be the end of this place. Every man, woman, and child from here to the Rockies will be killed, enslaved, or taken as a sacrifice. And their houses and towns burned to the ground. None of us want that, right? Oh, I don't mind about that, so long as you change your mind about him after. So... glad to hear it. So here's the plan. Part 1, help Ironclad Cordite take control of Liberty's gangs. Then, Part 2, let him lead them all off to Kansas, where he can achieve his blood-soaked destiny without getting any on us. But that's not gonna happen until you rescue the man from that bunker in Broadmoor Heights like I told you to a while back. So my advice to you is, get back to Colorado Springs and bust him out pronto. Now, I'm guessing y'all have some questions. Well, for one thing, we ain't paying the man. We ain't actively funding murder the way old Saul is. And second, despite Cordite's destiny, my guess is he goes back to Kansas and him and his rivals all wipe each other out, leaving the whole territory a more peaceful place. Pretty simple, really. The Patriarch has spies watching Liberty's compound. If you show up, those spies will think you're there on Daddy's behalf, and they'll be happy to see you. If we show up, our plan is revealed, yeah? And that would give the Marshals a chance to button up Colorado Springs before we make our attack. They'd be waiting for us. Now that's gonna be a fight. Basically, while you're taking care of Liberty, my team will be in Colorado Springs, softening the ground. Once you finish up out there, you'll come back and help us corner the man and bring him down. Our primary concern, other than ending the bloody reign of the Buchanans, is minimizing civilian casualties. That means you've got to ride herd on your crew and watch who you ally yourself with. We want to be the good guys here, so we've got to do this clean. Rape and pillage is a surefire way to turn people against their liberators. Keep the peace, keep things fair. I don't see the Rangers running things. I see our job as keeping the playing field even. There's always a lot of weasels that come out of the woodwork after a big man falls, trying to grab a piece of the pie. So we're just gonna hang around, and every time a weasel pops their head up, we'll whack them. At the same time, whenever somebody comes along who tries to take care of the people, all the people, we'll help them out. But we ain't gonna be anybody's muscle. We'll answer to the people, nobody else. I admit that'll be a temptation, but we're gonna try to fight against it. I don't know what a good leader is gonna look like, but I sure as hell know what a bad one looks like. Weeding the garden, that's what we'll be doing. Just weeding the garden. Pete and Brother Thomas came back with me from LA, and Tax from Arizona. These others are locals who have various gripes against the Patriarch. We trained them up as best we could. Nicer bunch of folks you'll never find. All right then, what's it gonna be? More than are being hurt now? Well, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna give you Liberty's location anyway. No matter what future we want, she's gotta be stopped, right? All I ask is, when you're finally standing face to face with her, please at least consider dealing with her our way, and put a bullet between her eyes. Everything else we talked about, well, let your conscience be your guide.
Good luck, cowboys. We'll talk again when Liberty's taken care of.
So you and, Ms. Death are acquainted? She seemed nice enough, except for that business about taking down the Patriarch.
Angus and me, we've been around long enough to know that change ain't always good. In fact, it's usually bad for a whole lot of people, especially simple folks like us. The Patriarch ain't perfect. We know that. But he's keeping us safe for 50 years. Now your friend wants to gamble that she can do better? And if she's wrong, it's the regular folks who are gonna get hurt or killed. Guess that's how we see it, anyway. No hard feelings, I hope. Only that it's full of alarms and sleeping bots. Angus and I peeked in there a few times, but we knew better than to wake 'em up.
Back before the bombs fell, A whole lot of folks built hidey holes around here. Some of them were awful fancy, too. The families in charge of Colorado Springs are all descended from folks like that. Ornery, independent thinking types. Sad story behind that grave, Rangers. About 40 years ago, when my folks were still living, a beautiful lady came up this way from the big city. Stayed with us for a night before heading out on her own. We warned her not to go by herself on account of all the nasty critters, but she wouldn't listen. My pappy and me were worried, so we followed her. Found her up in that clearing. She'd hanged herself from a tree. She left a note tied to her body. He took everything, so I chose nothing. She never told us her name, so we carved that on her grave. Buried her up there with a few personal things she had on her. Not long after that, some official-looking folks from the city came around asking about the lady. We told them what happened and showed them her grave. Didn't look too pleased, but they thanked us and never came back. A good man. He's kept Colorado alive for 50 years. Some folks might have gripes against him, but we don't pay him no mind.
We're old enough to remember the bad times before the Patriarch. Raiders, thieves, and wild men everywhere. That all stopped when the Patriarch took charge. Well, until those Dorseys showed up at our door.
Never even heard of them. We get some strange folk up here, and other things that ain't folk at all. But I don't recall any Dorseys.
It's an old name. One of the families that survived the deluge of fire, maybe.
Mostly by hunting game and growing crops in the greenhouse. Before the deluge of fire, folks say there were all kinds of good things to eat. Now, all we got is beets, mushrooms, and cabbage.
They have broccoli down in the city, and parsnips, too. What we wouldn't give for a decent parsnip. If you're ever up this way again, stop in and say hello. You're always welcome around here. Look here, Angus. Our old friends are back. We were hoping you'd turn up again. Wish we made a pie for the occasion.
Heard all about you from folks passing through. Sounds like you're making a name for yourselves down in the city. Now we can say we were the first to meet you.
Best of luck and stay alive.
Did you know that ranger lady? She looked a lot tougher than you.
Trouble written all over her.
Spent the past 2 weeks in the field hunting a pack of raiders. They'd taken some of the local kids hostage, and we were keen to get them back. Lucky for us, they weren't too good at covering their tracks. Caught them in a box canyon and hit them right at daylight. Glad to say the kids are back with their kin, safe and sound. I've been promoted to full marshal. Ain't that something? I know you worry, Ma, but it really feels like I'm making a difference here. It's hard work, dangerous work, but I'm helping keep people safe. And that's gotta count for something in this fallen world. Anyhow, tell the family I miss them terribly, and I hope to see you and Pa soon. Your son, Alistair Hoon.
Red-haired lady didn't see me, did she?